That's a 40, Shorty. So with the release of 28 Years Later, Miss Dropout and I watched 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later back to back. And let me tell you, what a trip. I've seen both, not in a while, and never back to back, and she had seen neither. So it was like going into it for the first time again with a fresh pair of eyes. I'll start with the first one before jumping into the second one. And viewers beware, minor spoilers ahead. 28 Days Later is at the core a simple film that takes its simplicity to the next level with the acting, characters, camera work, music, all of it. The beauty of the film lies in its simplicity while taking the zombie genre into new territory and tipping nods to its inspirations. I'm just going to jump right into it. This story is as basic as it gets. Rage Virus is released and the UK gets fucked. Jim wakes up, meets Selena, Frank, and Hannah. They road trip it to Manchester, find it burning to the ground. Frank gets infected, and a group of soldiers save their collective asses. Turns out the soldiers are mostly a bunch of massive assholes who want Hannah and Selena for naughty, nasty things, and they try to whack Jim. They find his objections very whiny bitch vibe.
But I was going into Toshi Station to pick.
Because, well, they're assholes. Jim returns to rescue the ladies with a vengeance and leads the infected back to the house. The situation explodes, and the soldiers get fucked up. The group survives and escapes, ultimately creating a large message out of sheets for a passing jet. There are 3 distinct parts that flow well together and have a different tone to each one without being too far apart. Jim waking up into a horrorland and his survival against the infected. The second part is Frank, Hannah, and the road trip. A brief reprieve from the chaos of the world, and it has a more hopeful feel to it, with the characters connecting to one another. The last part involves the platoon of soldiers taking their survival to the next level, surviving not only the infected, but one another. The ending returns to the ray of hope found in the film's middle section. For Alex Garland's first screenplay, it's written really damn well. Again, simple concept, simple story, complex characters, and new directions for the zombie genre. Now what works for me is that the film doesn't just sit in on genre camp. It's a post-apocalyptic zombie film with sprinkles of road trip film, survival horror, and drama. Yeah, this film is cooking, and it's bringing the sauce. The cast of characters is small, which gives us a lot of time to connect to our characters and want to see them succeed and survive. When the group wrecks a tire in the tunnel and have to pit stop the taxi while infected are closing in on them, I could feel that tension building before they are able to escape and make it out of the tunnel. I couldn't help but smile during the grocery store sequence. It was a bittersweet and peaceful moment in a world gone to shit. The characters feel real and capable of change as their experiences and the family unit evolves over the course of the film. The infected are equally a collective character, on par with Jim, Selena, the soldiers, and so on. Silent, violent antagonists, and boy howdy are they gnarly as hell. They're terrifying with red eyes, bleeding out of every orifice and vomiting blood all over the place. Scary as hell. And something completely new, putting an interesting spin on the Resident Evil virus zombie. Gone are the slow walkers who limp their way through the apocalypse, making room for zombies who run like Usain Bolt and make your Tuesday morning work rage quit look like an angsty teenage pouty moment.
But I was going into Toshi Station to pick up some power converters.
No wonder the UK went into the pooper so fast. The last aspect of what makes this film awesome is its production and technical aspects. Before even watching this movie, look at these and tell me they aren't iconic. They don't stir up feelings of curiosity and a little intrigue. The vibes of the artwork ties in perfectly with the film itself without giving too much away. Now let me get this right out of the way. This film has a very distinct look, and I could already hear newer generations whining, "But Will, it looks so old, and it looks really gross." Shut up, I know, that was the point. See, what you have to remember is that this film was filmed and released at the same time as The Lord of the Rings, and those movies look fucking sick. They still do. And this look, color palette, style are as much a character as the actual characters. They filmed a lot of sequences using this Canon handheld digital camera to get in those quick shots. The overall cinematography throughout the film works to help build the tension and keeps the film interesting. It helps ground the audience in the world, and what seals the deal is the score. The score slaps something fierce. It brings songs of horror, tension, but also wonder and hope. In the House, In a Heartbeat, is an iconic song that brings so much horror vibes to it, it stays with you long after. I built an Apocalypse Please playlist on Spotify, and you bet your top dollar this is right at the top. I honestly can't find anything to complain about this film. It's a unique piece of art that has had a lasting impact on zombie stories for years. Don't give me any lip. If you like horror and zombies and you haven't seen this,
You done fucked it up!
I don't want to hear any sass. Shut up and go watch this. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if it's been a while, go check it out again now that it's more widely available, now on streaming. I watched this on Tubi and it had a bunch of ads, so it might almost do you well just to rent it on Amazon Prime or something like that. I ultimately ended up buying it. $10 well spent. 9 out of 10. 28 Weeks Later is okay, but nowhere near as good as the first. It's hard to compare the two as they are both stylistically and tonally different from one another. It keeps the kinetic energy of the original, while exploring themes of family, the destruction of the UK, and the further ramifications of the outbreak and its role in the world's history. The sequel has a lot more Hollywood polish to it. Better effects, bigger actors, more action, more blood and gore, more! But more doesn't always mean better, and that's why the original worked so well. Took the less is more approach. This entry has a little more story to it, but not much. See, Dad and Mom are hiding, infected show up and everyone dies. Dad ditches Mom, lives to see another day. Then their 2 kids come back to the UK, and they reunite with their dad. Then the kids find their mom, who's actually alive, and without giving too much away, the infection returns.
Execute Code Red.
And London gets fucked again, this time by the US Army. The characters are alright, mostly cookie cutter or with basic development. The only one that really has any kind of arc is the dad, who is something else. This dude is one cold, sick bastard.
Boo!
Ditches the wife, lies to his kids about it, feels bad, then gets like romantic? Horny? Romantic horny? I don't know, but his dumb ass is what kicks the rest of the movie into gear. After that, he's just the ghost of Christmas dad, stalking the kids and showing up to keep them moving to where they need to go. The overall star power gets wasted in my opinion. Like, there really is some stellar talent in this film, and it's all relegated to lame side characters. They nail it.
Execute Code Red. We've lost control.
Welcome to London.
But would have loved to see more from them. The kids' acting is mid, not bad, but not great. And overall, the characters are very meh. A huge disappointment since it was one of the pillars that made 28 Days awesome. What this film does well is be a zombie action flick, where the story and the characters and all that shit takes the back seat. Once the infection spreads again, that's when the movie really finds its stride and does what it does best. There's an interesting sequence when the boy is separated from his sister and nurse and ends up in a tunnel with all of the civilians. The result is a claustrophobic sequence with people running in any direction to escape. Easy targets for the infected and the army. The characters start making their way to a helicopter to get the fuck off that rock, but their journey is way more difficult than they expected and they start getting killed off, leaving only 2 to face the final boss, dear old dad,
Well, quit this fucking guy.
and escape the island. I'm starting to get some Resident Evil vibes in the second half. Overall, the movie tries to expand the story and it falls flat, with some generic tropes thrown in. What the movie really wants to focus on is the zombie action parts, and that's what the film tries to identify as. And that's fine, it's a passable movie for entertainment value. but it falls really short as a sequel to 28 Days Later. Doesn't have anything new to say, doesn't go in any bold new directions, or connect us with some solid characters. So I have to give it a 6.5 out of 10.